Hello dear students, my name is Fancy. I am the Assistant Professor in the Department of Physics, Sacred Heart College, Chalakudi. In this new academic year, due to COVID-19 pandemic, we are forced to move on to online platform for teaching and learning. This is quite a new learning experience to you all. So I am here to introduce you a user-friendly learning app called Google Classroom, which we are commonly using in our college. Then some online video conferencing tools. Then some useful informations based on this online education. So I hope this session will be fruitful to you all. So first we can move on to Google Classroom. Dear friends, first we have to install Google Classroom from the Play Store. So for that, take Play Store and type Google Classroom. So it will open the Google Classroom app. So this is the icon of Google Classroom. It is already installed. So you just click open. So this is the home page of Google Classroom. So I logged in using this email ID KFNC. So presently there is no existing classes. So you can choose your Gmail account and you can create or join your first class. So this plus button, you can see this plus button here. So this plus button is used to create or join the first class. So if you're a teacher, you can create the Google Classroom. So if you're a student, you have to join the classroom using the class code given by your teacher. So for that, you have to click this plus button. So they will ask two options, create class and join class. So I click join class. Now I need a class code. So for that I have here the class code. So I have two class codes. First one to join the mechanics class and second one to join the electrodynamics class. So first I choose the mechanics class code and I join this using the class code. So join. So by using this class code given by the teacher, I can join to the BSc Physics Mechanics first semester mechanics class. Okay, now I have to go to the home page and I have to join in one more class. So click the plus button and click join class. Now I have to take another class code. So this is the second class code of electrodynamics class. So click the copy the Google class code and paste it here and join. So this is another class code of electrodynamics class. So this is the electrodynamics class. Okay, so I have two classes in my classroom. So first I am introducing the mechanics classroom. So this is the home page of Google Classroom of first semester mechanics. So here you can see three main tabs: stream tab, classwork tab and people tab. So stream page is the main page. So this is the page we are seeing here. This is the stream page. So stream page will show all the notifications posted by teachers or students in the class. Okay, and classwork page is the classwork tab, shows all the topics or materials in an organized manner in the classroom, and people tab shows all the people in this Google Classroom including teachers and students. So we can access it and we can view it in one by one. Okay, so first we can go to people tab. So here the teacher is Fancy myself and there is no student. So you are the first student in this class. So if any of your classmates join this class, you can see your fellow classmates in this students tab. So here there is no another student joined in this classroom, so you cannot see anyone else. But in the next classroom I can show you your fellow classmates. Okay, so here this is the people tab. Next tab is the classwork tab. So in the classwork tab you can see all the topics posted in the classroom in a systematic, organized manner. Okay, so here you can see a important icon in the top right corner. So this is the filter icon. So this icon is used to filter out the topic we need to access. Okay, so click on that icon. So you can see that filter by topic. So these are the topics in my classroom: revision, introduction, assignment, physics practicals, general discussion, etc. So I can choose any one topic and go to that topic. So this under the topic general discussion, these are the activities I have to do. So here these icons represents these all icons have different meanings. So these are the class works you have to do. So these are the topics or materials posted under the topic general discussion. So you can see similarly in each topic, under each topic there are several materials posted by your teacher. Okay, so in this you can see using the icon you can identify the materials posted. So this icon represents material. Simply this is a material. Okay, so it can be either a PDF or just some text typed by your teacher, or like that, or a PDF file or a PPT, etc. So it is just a material. Okay, and this icon represents assignment. So this is the assignment icon. So this is your classwork. This you have to submit this assignment before the due date. Here the due date is shown. Due date is next Saturday, 11:59 p.m. Okay. Now this icon represents, this is a question. This is a question to you, question asked by the teacher. So this question mark represents, this is a question asked by teacher. You have to answer this question. It has no due date, but you have to answer this question. So this is also a question. Now you can see the difference between these two icons. In this icon it is highlighted in blue color, and this icon is not highlighted in blue color. So what is the difference between these two? You can see that this question is answered by me. I already answered this question. So that's why this it is not highlighting the blue color. So the highlighting options means that we have to submit, or we have to answer that question. So I think you now you are familiar with all the icons in the classwork page. So this was the material. So this blue lines shows the assignment. Question mark represents question. So assignments, there are two types of assignments. One is general assignment, one is quiz assignment. Here you can see one quiz assignment. Here this is the general quiz. So here you can see just click this quiz. So this quiz 1 electrostatic, just this is a quiz 1. So this is you can see this attachment. So this is a Google form. So the question is the assignment is given, or quiz is given in a Google form. You have to open this Google form and fill the Google form and submit it. That is the quiz assignment. So this type of assignment is called a quiz assignment, and in some case there is no quiz assignment. So for example you can see the some problems. So this is general assignment. So here a PDF is attached by your teacher. So you have to open this PDF document and answer all the following questions given in all the problems in the given assignment, and you have to submit it within 2 days. Okay, that is the instruction given by the teacher. So these are the differences between quiz assignment and normal assignment. And there is a question and there is material posted. So we can see all the classworks. So you can now see what are the classworks assigned to you. So for that, see this icon. This assignment shows all the works assigned in this classroom. Okay, sometimes you will join this classroom by late. Then also you can see all the assignments already posted in this classroom. So for that, click this button. So this icon shows all the assignments. So here you can see 3 categories. Okay, first one is the assigned category. So that means these are the assigned categories. So these you have to do. These are the works you have to do. So handed in means you already submitted these works. So you need not submit it again. Then missing means this the due date is 27th May. So I never submitted it before the due date. So because I joined the classroom by late. So this is the missing assignment. So there are 3 types of assignments: assigned one, handed in, and missing one. So we have to give understand all the difference between these 3 names. Assigned one means you have to submit it before due date. handed in means you have submitted it, missing means you have failed to submit it. Okay, so you can click each one and you can do all the activities. So first we can go to the assigned ones. So for that, click the write an essay about your ambition in life. So you can the instruction is like this: attach your answer as a PDF file. So you have to make a PDF file. That means you have to type the answers in a document, or you have to write the answer in a paper, and you have to scan it and attach it as a PDF file, or you can type it in a Google Doc and attach it. Okay, so in the next sessions we will discuss how we can scan a PDF file and how we can attach it. Okay, so now I'm just showing you how to attach a PDF file. So for that I am clicking this your work. So your work, in this you can see this plus button, add attachment. So click on add attachment. So they will ask different modes of attaching the file. So I am choosing you can attach from a drive, from a link, using a link, take photos, record video, etc. So you can either create a new docs. So I am creating a new doc as attachment. So a Google Doc is opened. So it is already attached. So now I can type in this Google Doc. So I can type here. So click the edit button and type my ambition is. So this is a Word type application. I will explain in a few minutes about Google Docs. So you can write all things in this document and you can click this tick mark. So it is saved. Okay, so now you can close it. So your work is attached as Google Doc. Now the option is changed. In earlier here it is showing mark as done, but here after adding an attachment in your work it is showing hand in. Hand in means it is asking us to submit. For submitting you have to click this hand in button. So after clicking the hand in, our assignment is submitted. So click hand in. So they will again ask a question. One attachment will be submitted for write an essay about your ambition in life. So I am attached and work to this. So I click hand in. Yes. So now the message is showing that it is handed in. Okay. So my attachment is submitted and my work is submitted. So I submitted my work as a Google Doc. So this is one way. So you can unsubmit it and you can submit in any another manner. So in the next assignment we can submit it in another mode. So I submitted this essay as a Google Doc in which I typed all the answers and I attached it and I click the hand in. That is an important option. After attaching the document you have to click the hand in option. Okay. Now this work is completed. So we can go back and you can take the next option. So the here the message is changed. The assigned one is changed to handed in. So next one is write your expectations about college life. So this answer is visible to all others. So you need to just type your answer in the chat box. So my expectation is good academic experience, like that. Any answer you can write. Good experience, good academic experience. Okay, that is my answer. This answer is visible to all others. Okay, so this is just like a discussion forum. So I can hand in. So this is my class comment. You can see all other your fellow classmates' answers. So here you can see that in the general discussion session, you can see that the write your expectation about college is a question. So if you are answering a question, you can see all other fellow classmates' answers. If you are answering an assignment, you cannot see other students' answers. You can see only your answer. So if you are answering a question, you can edit the if the teacher give the provision to edit, you can edit this. You can edit the your question and you can edit your answer. Friendship, you can add something like that. These are the expectations. So you can hand in. These answers can be viewed by other classmates. You can see other classmates' answers also. If other classmates posted their answers here, you can see that. Okay, so this is the difference between assignment and question. So if you're answering a question, you can see the other classmates' answers. You can, if you have option, you can edit it. Okay, in the case of assignment, you cannot see other classmates' answers. Okay, next one is similar to that. What are the creative activities? It is also a question. You can answer it. Similarly, general quiz. You can see that. So this is a quiz assignment. This is not a general assignment. This is a quiz assignment. So click the Google form. So general quiz will be open in a Google form. So here you can see some questions. So you can click your, you can type your name, and you can answer the following questions, and you can submit it. So after submitting it, they will ask open assignment. So I will open my assignment, and in the assignment, so in the assignment part is to answer the quiz. So already I handed in. If no work is attached, so I need to do it again. So I unsubmit it, and I am going to do it again. So I again go to Google Classroom. And I filled all the forms. Actually, I already submitted this quiz. That's why it is showing handed in. So I unsubmit it, and I am actually doing it once again. So submit it. So now click open assignment. So this assignment will be open in our Google Classroom. So now my general quiz is completed, and here it is showing that I have to submit it. So here if I unsubmit it, they will ask your answer as mark as done. So if you are submitting it for the first time, you have to, after submitting the quiz, you have to click mark as done. So they will telling you that you didn't attach any work for general quiz. No, you don't need to attach anything, because you already submitted the Google form. So if you are assigning, or if you are doing a quiz assignment, you need not attach anything in your assignment part. You just submit the Google form. Okay, the Google form means the quiz. You have to submit the Google form and put mark as done. So you click mark as done. So here the answer will came as handed in. So don't forget to put the mark as done option. So you can see that if you are adding any attachment like PDF file or Google Doc, they will show handed in. Otherwise, if you are not attaching any work, they are showing mark as done. That is the difference between two mode of submission. So in the general assignment, we are attaching something, attaching a file, attaching a PDF file, and we are handing in. Okay. In the quiz format, we are not doing any attachments. We are generally submitting the quiz form, and we are putting mark as done. So I am submitting, I am showing it again. So here this is my assigned work. After filling the Google form, general quiz, I have to tick mark as done and click mark as done. So my work is submitted and handed in. General assignment in you attachment attach hand in kodukkum. Ennal nammada quiz assignment laanengil nammal a form submit cheyidinu mark as done kodukkum. Okay. അപ്പോൾ ഇതാണ് ഡിഫറെൻറ്റ് വേസ്. ഇനി നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇതിൽ ഓരോ ടോപ്പിക്സ് നോക്കാം. ഇപ്പോൾ ഇൻട്രൊഡക്ഷൻ്റെ താഴെ ടീച്ചർ പോസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്ന PDF ഫയൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഓപ്പൺ ചെയ്യാം. അപ്പോൾ PDF ഫയൽ ഓപ്പൺ ചെയ്യുന്നത് ഗൂഗിൾ ഡ്രൈവിലായിരിക്കും പോസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ ഈ ഗൂഗിൾ ഡ്രൈവിലുള്ള നമുക്ക് ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്യണം. സപ്പോസ് ഈ PDF ഫയൽ എനിക്ക് ഡൗൺലോഡ് ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ ഈ ഒരു ആരോ കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ടായിരിക്കും. ഈ ഒരു ആരോ ക്ലിക്ക് ചെയ്യുക. അതിനുശേഷം യു ഹാവ് ടു ക്ലിക്ക് ദിസ്, ആൻഡ് ദെൻ ദിസ് ഫയൽ വിൽ ബി ഓപ്പൺ ഇൻ ദ ഗൂഗിൾ ഡ്രൈവ്. നൗ ഹിയർ ദ മെസ്സേജ് ഈസ് ഷോയിങ് ഓപ്പൺ ഇൻ ഗൂഗിൾ ഡ്രൈവ്. നൗ ക്ലിക്ക് ദിസ് 3 dots, and now you can download it. Click download. So this item will be downloaded in our phone. Okay, so in this way you can download any PDF file or PPT like that. So next topic is introduction to tensors. This is a PPT, so you can open it. This is a PowerPoint. You can open this PowerPoint. So this file also you can open in the Google Drive, and you can download this presentation using the same option. That means click the 3 dots and you can download it. Okay, so you can click the 3 dots and you can share and export. PPT you have to share and export. You can save as. Okay, you can use that any format. So these are the different ways through which we can access the materials posted by your teacher. So Google Classroom is generally used to answer a question or or to do assignments, to see the materials posted by the teachers in a well organized manner. Okay, now you can see you can do one work. That means you can do this problems. So this is a question. These are some problems given by the teacher. I have to answer this and I have to submit it. So I have to submit this as an attachment. So I have already done. So I unsubmit it and I am again do it for you. So add attachment and take a file. So in the previous case we have attached it as a doc, but here I am attaching a file. So for that I am going to my drive and my phone's drive, and I took one file. An example, I took a PDF file, and this PDF file get attached to my work. Now this PDF file is attached and I can click the hand in. Now you see this hand in option. So if we are attaching anything, they will show the hand in option. If you are not attaching anything, they will show mark as done. Okay, so I click hand in. So they will ask that already I am submitted it, so I have to resubmit it. So I have resubmitted it. So if you need to submit it again, you can unsubmit it and you can submit it again. So you can submit all materials. If sometimes you will forget something to add, so you can just unsubmit it and attach the file and you can resubmit it. Okay, so these are the options in the class work page. And next is the stream page. So in the stream page you can see all the materials posted by the teacher, and sometimes teacher will allow you to share your thoughts also. So you can see the this icon, share with your class. So this slot is available to you if the teacher permits. So I am telling here hi, this hi friends. So this is a chat box like session. So I just type a message. So this message is typed by me. So sometimes teacher can mute a student, teacher can disable this option. So that's up to your teacher. Now there are some more settings about Google Classroom. So you can see here the 3 lines in the left top corner. So click this, you can see the first one is the classes page. This is the home page of Google Classroom. Here you can see 2 classes. So I'm just showing the second class, Electrodynamics 1 class. You can see the people page. So these are the teachers engaging this class, and these are the classmates. These are the fellow classmates. Okay, now this is the classwork page. So these are the we already discussed that. This is the stream page. Okay, similarly you can see all the classes in this class page. Okay, now you can see here 3 dots in the in each class tabs. So this dots represents, you can click that dot and there is 2 options. Unenroll. Unenroll means you can leave this class by yourself. So for that you can unenroll. Okay, if the teacher can remove you, or you can unenroll. If you are joining to some other course, you can unenroll from this Google Classroom by this option. Okay, next one is by clicking this option you can see calendar. Calendar will show all the assignments in your Google Calendar. So this is actually the Google Calendar, not your calendar. This is the Google Calendar linked to your Gmail account. Then you can see the to-do list. The to-do list will show all the assignments pending to you. So these are the missing assignments in the electrodynamics class. You have to submit it. So the due date is already gone. So these are the missing work to you. This is the to-do work, and you can see all the done works. These are the assignments done by you. So you can sort it out as what to do and what all things have done by me. Okay. Next one is each class. You can access each class from here also. Without going to this home page, you can choose any one class here. So this will launch the BSc Physics class like that. Archive class shows all the deleted classes by your teachers. If the teacher archive this class, or they will delete the previous semester classes, you can all see the archive classes here. Okay. The next one is the classroom folder. Classroom folder shows all the materials posted in your class is appearing in your Google Drive. So this is the Google Drive where each class materials is included in a Google Drive folder. So this folder shows all the materials posted in the first semester mechanics class. Okay. Similarly, each class has a classroom folder in the Google Drive. Okay. Next is the settings. In the settings page, you can update your photo, you can change your name. So here you can change your name. So for that you can click change name and take the Google account, and you can take the personal info, and you can type your name. Sometimes some of you are using your parents' Gmail account, but actually they are not, your parents are not much using their Google account. So for the easiness of teachers, you have to use the student name in the Google account. Sometimes you are using your parents' Gmail ID, but in Google Classroom, possibly you can use your name only. If you are using your brother's name or sister's name, we cannot identify you. So please use your name in the, please change your name as the student name, your name in the Google account, and by changing this name option. Okay. Next one is the class notifications. If you are not supposed to have all the class notifications as your email notification, you can turn it off. Okay, if you turned it off, you cannot have all the notifications in the Gmail. Otherwise, each comment by each student will appear as a email notification. So it is your choice. So I turn it off because I don't need any class notifications. So that can be done in the settings page. So many students will be asking how I can turn off the notifications. So you can do it like this. And these are the main important things to you. So you can, in this way you can easily access the Google Classroom, and please free to ask your doubts. Okay. So these are the important peculiarities and usage of Google Classroom. Okay. Next tool I would like to introduce is Google Docs. Google Docs is a part of Google. So if you are using Google Docs in mobile phone, we have to download the application from the Play Store. So this is the application of Google Docs. It is called Docs type Docs in Play Store, and you can download this application from the Play Store. So after downloading this application, you click this Google Docs. So this is the home page of Google Docs. So I have created several Google documents. So you can create a new document by clicking this plus button. So this plus button is used to create a new document. So they will ask a template. If we want to have a particular template, we can choose the template. So it can be either in, you can have the template of CV, resume, and letters, education related activities. So many templates are defaultly available in the Google Docs. So I don't need any template, so I just took a new document. So this is similar to your Microsoft Word, but what is the additional advantage of Google Docs? So Google Docs is created in your Gmail account. So you can see if you created one Google document, you can type any matter inside this Google Doc. So I'm going to type a question paper. Or I am going to answer one question paper. So I just took the numbering format, and I am asking what is meant by what is force. So this we can type this easily, and we can also use there are several options. All options available in Word is also available in the Google Docs. You can change the font, you can change the font size, bold, italics, underline, etc., alignments, numbering, etc. All things we can do here. Another one is, you are familiar with voice typing. So here you can give voice input. So what is meant by potential energy? Yeah, so it is very easy. You can easily type any matter here. So sometimes teacher will ask you to submit an assignment as Google Doc, some essay like that. So you can do it here. It is very easy. Now you can click this tick button so that you can save this document. But this document is untitled. You can name it. By clicking this untitled document, you can rename the document. So I am renaming it as question paper. Okay. So this is the Google document. Where this Google Doc is saved. This Google document is saved in our Gmail account. So the Google Doc need a Gmail account. So if you are not signed in, mainly our phone is signed into a particular Gmail account. So to which Gmail account our phone is connected, that the Google Doc is saved in that particular Gmail account. ഏത് ജിമെയിൽ അക്കൗണ്ട് ആണോ നിങ്ങൾക്കുള്ളത് ആ ജിമെയിൽ അക്കൗണ്ടിലായിരിക്കും ഈ ഒരു ഡോക്യുമെന്റ്സ് എല്ലാം സേവ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പോൾ ഇതിൻ്റെ അടുത്ത അഡ്വാൻറ്റേജ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ നമുക്ക് ഈ ഗൂഗിൾ ഡോക്യുമെന്റ് ഇപ്പം നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞു ഈ ഗൂഗിൾ ഡോക്യുമെന്റ് ഞാനിവിടെ സേവ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. സോ ഈ ഗൂഗിൾ ഡോക്യുമെന്റ് എനിക്ക് ഷെയർ ചെയ്യാം. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പം ഈ ഗൂഗിൾ ഡോക്യുമെന്റിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇവിടെ ഒരു പ്ലസ് ഒരു സിമ്പിൾ കാണാം. ഈ പ്ലസ് ഒരു കോണ്ടാക്ട് സിമ്പിൾ ആണ് നമ്മുടെ ഷെയറിംഗ് ഓപ്ഷൻ. ഈ ഗൂഗിൾ ഡോക്യുമെന്റ് സപ്പോസ് എനിക്ക് ടീച്ചറുമായിട്ട് ഷെയർ ചെയ്യണം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എൻ്റെ ഫ്രണ്ട്സുമായിട്ട് ഷെയർ ചെയ്യണം. സോ യു ക്യാൻ ക്ലിക്ക് ദിസ് ഓപ്ഷൻ. സോ യു ക്യാൻ ക്ലിക്ക് ദിസ് ഓപ്ഷൻ and you can give the name. So here I am giving my account name. So here you can see one name here. This is the editor. So what do I mean by editor? If I am adding a person to this Google Doc, this person has the access to this document and he has the access to edit this document. We can change the option here. Either we can choose the person as a viewer, commenter or editor. So if we are choosing the viewer option, the person can only view my document. If it is a commenter, he can comment my document. If it is an editor, he can edit my document. So if we would like to access we would give permission to access our Google Doc, we can choose the editor option. Okay, so I can share this. So I am sharing. So the person is added. So the new messages come. So person is added. So here you can see that there is here you can see an icon here. No, this icon, two persons icon. These all icons represent that these files are shared files. This is the daily activity report. This is a shared file. So these all are the shared files. But here you can see another file. This file has not having that symbol. That means this is not a shared file. This is only created by me and not shared by anyone. So these are the peculiarities of Google Docs. So this application is very useful to all of you, I am sure, particularly if you are doing your project work or dissertation work. Then at that time you can use this Google Docs very effectively. That means if you have a group work, you need to submit the project report. You can start a Google document and you can start sharing the Google document within the group. So everyone in the group can edit the document and complete it. And another important thing is that since it is opened in a Gmail account, we not need to carry our phone with us or gadgets with us. It is open. It can be opened in any computer having from that Gmail account. നമുക്ക് ഏതൊരു ജിമെയിൽ അക്കൗണ്ട് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിലും നമുക്ക് ആ ജിമെയിൽ അക്കൗണ്ടിലാണ് നമ്മളൊരു ഗൂഗിൾ ഡോക്ക് ഓപ്പൺ ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് എവിടെ ചെന്നും ആ ഗൂഗിൾ ഡോക്സ് ആക്സസ് ചെയ്യാം. ഈസിലി ആക്സസിബിൾ ആണ്, പോർട്ടബിൾ അല്ല. നമ്മളത് പോർട്ട് ചെയ്ത് കൊണ്ടുപോകേണ്ട കാര്യമില്ല, നമുക്കത് എവിടെ നിന്നും അത് ആക്സസ് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് പറ്റും. സോ ദീസ് ആർ ദ വെരി ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻറ്റ് പെക്യുലാരിറ്റീസ് ഓഫ് ഗൂഗിൾ ഡോക്സ്. Okay, so next I would like to mention about another useful application. So that application is called Slides. So this is actually called Google Slides. So Google Slides is also a part of Google. So if you are using in phone, you have to download this application named Slides from the Play Store. If all these applications you are using in a PC or a laptop, you can directly have it from the Google. You can select the Google app from the right top corner of the Google homepage. So you have all these apps available in the Google. No need to download it. But in the case of Android phones or iOS, you have to download these applications. Okay. So let's see how we can access the Google Slides. Google Slides is also a part created with a Gmail ID. So here this is my Gmail ID. So you can have any Gmail ID, and from in that Gmail ID I have created all this PowerPoints. So Google Slides is actually doing the duty for Microsoft PowerPoint. So similar to Google Docs, this PowerPoints or the slides is also created in a Gmail account so that we can share it. So here also you can see you can see the icon here. So these icons represents this is a shared PPT, but except all others are, so here there are some shared PPTs, but some PPTs are not shared. That means that is my own. Okay, so what is the advantage of this? These PPTs or these slides do the same duty as PowerPoint, but we can share it. So suppose I have one PPT here. So this is one PPT. So you can create PowerPoint. I think all of you are familiar with PowerPoint. So you can create a new PowerPoint similar to the previous one. So here there is a plus button here. So by clicking the plus button, you can by clicking this plus button you can add a new PowerPoint. So similar to the previous case, there is a template. So you can either choose a template. So template may be related to education, work, personal, anything like that. So you can either choose template or directly go to a new presentation. So this is just a new presentation. So if you need to change the theme, then you can click here. So there is a lot of themes in the Google Slides. You can tap one and you can edit the document. And similarly, you can save this by renaming the presentation. So this is a sample presentation, sample PPT. Okay. And as in the previous case, we can share this. So this icon represents sharing option. And here there is another option here, plus option. Plus option is to insert text, image, shape, line, table, etc. You can look into this application and you can see several options here. So the plus button represents how we can share this. So you can so they will ask if we are not giving any access to our contacts, they will ask a request that allow slides to access your contacts. So you can put allow, and now you can add people. So if you want to add people, you can add here, and so you can make it as similar to doc. You can make them as editor or reviewer or commenter, and you can share them. So this is the one method of sharing. So this we have created a new document called sample PPT. So the last opened one is opened, one is appear here in the first one, is appear as first one in the home page. Similarly, we can see all other applications. So this is the Google Slides. So Google Doc and Google Slides are very useful to you. You can use these applications more effectively. Okay. Next application I am introducing here is Sheets. So this application is also a part of Google. This is called Google Sheets. If you are using in mobile phone, you have to download this application Sheets from Play Store. And if you are using in laptop or computer, you can see this app in the Google. So this Sheets do the duty of Microsoft Excel. So what are the duties of Google Sheets? So this application is very helpful for doing calculations. It will do all the duties of Excel. Okay, so this is the home page of Google Sheet. So Google Sheet is also created in a Gmail account. So this Google Sheet can be opened in any place where we have this Gmail account. The plus button indicates, similar to Google Doc and Google Slides, plus button indicate new spreadsheet. We can have a template or we can have a new spreadsheet. So I'm going to new spreadsheet. So docs, slides and sheets are performing similarly. So this is an untitled spreadsheet. So you can see rows and columns here. You can do any thing. You can create a table here, name of all students in your class here. You can do some project work related activities, like you have to create a graph, etc. All things you can do here. So if you are here, you can see you can enter the text or formula here. So here you can enter number 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So let this be the x-axis. So I am going to plot a graph. So this is the y-axis. So here this is 1. So this is 4, 9 and 16. So this is some values in my project. So I need to so this is my my data values in my experiment, and I can select this. I can select this data points and click plus button, and you can insert a chart. So this is a column chart. You can change the type of the chart. The recommended chart is a chart type, line, area, column or scatter plot. So anything you can do here. So this is very useful for students in doing projects related to mathematics, or to represent any chart or like that in the Google Sheets. So many options you have. So this is one advantage of Google Sheet spreadsheet, and you can save it or rename it. So this is a chart. Okay, and you can share it, as in the previous case. You can share it with anyone. They will ask permission, so I allow contacts, and you can share it and you can send it to anyone. So this is the so here I am not shared with anyone, so the icon is showing that I am not shared this to anyone. So these all are the shared spreadsheets. And also you can see these 3 dots here. You can see the 3 dots here. So this 3 dots represent some options. So that is, you can click the options and you can download this. You can send a copy, you can download it, you can make a copy of this spreadsheet, you can save it, you can rename it, you can move it. All options are available here. You can copy the link and share to anyone else. So all these options are available in docs, slides, sheets, etc. So Google Apps have similar features. So by clicking this, you can make a copy. So here they will ask in my drive, what is the name? Chart copy. So it will create a copy of the create a copy of the file here. So this is the chart copy, same file. Okay, so this is the chart copy, this is chart. Okay, And similarly, you can you can download it and you can save it as Excel, or you can save it as PPT or PDF or like that. So all things we can do here. So there are lot of options or lot of advantages for Google Docs, Google Slides and Google Sheets. Next, I am going to introduce you another application. So that application is called Doc Scanner. So this application is useful to you to scan your documents and to upload it in your Google Classroom. May be particularly useful in the time of your internal examinations, where the teacher will ask you to submit the answer scripts as a PDF file. So at that time, this Doc Scanner is very useful. Okay, so let's see how we can use the Doc Scanner. So Doc Scanner is available in the Play Store. So it can be downloaded from the Play Store. So you have to take care while downloading this application. So you have to type Doc Scanner. Then lot of scanner application is available in the Play Store. You have to choose this particular application, that is Doc Scanner made in India PDF. You can use anyone, but this document scanner has good review by our students. Already used the scanner. Previously there is a scanner, Cam Scanner. It is a Chinese application. It is banned here. So now you cannot use Cam Scanner. Cam Scanner is a good application, but now we are many of the students are using this application, Document Scanner, made in India, PDF Creator, Luvic Productivity. Okay, so this is the application we need to use. So this is already installed. If it is not installed, you have to install it. Now you can open this application. So here in this application, you can scan the document as a business card, ID card, academic purpose, etc. So let's see how we can scan a document. So this is a demo document. So let's see, we are scanning this area. So I am scanning a paper. So after scanning, after taking the photo of this paper, you can do many adjustments. So first you have to place your answer paper, and you can click either the arrow button. So they will give many commands. Please hold out phone steadily. Okay, hold out your phone steadily, then straight over a document to capture it in high quality, etc. So you need to place it in a neat way. And I am scanning in the document mode. Okay, so you can click took the photo. So it will choose one area. So if I am not satisfied with this, you can go back or retake, or we can continue. Like that we can scan a document. Okay, so now I am going to familiarize you the properties of this application. So if I have this page and I need to modify this document, there are a lot of options here. Edit option here. So what is the edit option? You can adjust the border. You can adjust the border of the page by cropping it. You can rotate this. Okay, you can rotate this. There are several other options. Then next is the color filter. You can use the original color. This is the original color. It is a fade color. You can give more brighter color, like all these are familiar to you. So you can adjust the color filter. Okay, now you can rotate it. If needed, you can rotate this to either left or right. Then you can insert a picture to this document. You can write a text here. You can type a text here. So this is also a PDF creator. You can create a PDF after editing all the documents we scanned. And you can align. You can do several options here. You can edit text. So several options are available for that. Now you can highlight any portions you want to do. You can highlight it. You can change color. Okay, and you can doodle it. If someone want to doodle it, you can doodle it. So these all are the main important options of the document editor. So the scanned document can be edited using document editor, and you can save it. Okay, so we scanned it and we saved it in high quality. Now we can share it. You can share only this file or share the entire document. So if you are sharing only this file, only one page of this file is shared. You can see that there are two files. Okay, there are two files in this document. So if I need to share only one particular page, you take the option share only this file or share entire document. So you can share the entire document. So they will ask share as PDF or share as JPG. So you can, if you are sharing as JPEG file, so this is a picture format. So the two pages will be shared as two images. If you are sharing in PDF format, portable document format, then it will share as one particular file in which there are two pages. So if you are asked you to submit the answer papers, you need to choose the PDF format. So if for example your answer scripts have 8 pages, we need that 8 pages in one file. So that is the easiness of this PDF format. So it is easy to access for teachers if you are submitting in the PDF format. So you have to choose the PDF option and you have to click share. So this is the document created. You can either WhatsApp it, Gmail it, or you can you can use the Google Classroom, or you can upload this into a Google Classroom. So these are the advantages of document scanner. So any document you have, you can scan it and you can share it, you can edit it and share it. That is the advantages of document scanner. Next application I am going to introduce you is online video conferencing tools, Google Meet and GoToMeeting. So these are the two applications we are commonly using for live classes. So GoToMeeting is already familiar to you, as the SIB program is conducting in the GoToMeeting platform. So GoToMeeting is familiar to you all. So now I am going to introduce you about Google Meet. Google Meet is also a video conferencing online platform for live classes. So to join Google Meet, the teacher will give you a code. So the code, here I have created a meeting link. So you can use either this link or you can use this code. This is a 10-letter code. So you can type this 10-letter code in the Google Meet, or you can directly click this link to join the Google Meet. So for that, first we need to use the Google Meet. Download the Google Meet from the Play Store. So this is the icon of Google Meet. You can download the Google Meet from the Play Store. And here there are two options. You can start a new meeting. So if you're supposed to host the meeting, you can start new meeting, or you can join with a code. So this is you can enter the code provided by the meeting organizer. So I previously showed you a code. So this is the code given by your organizer. So I copied that code and I paste that code here. So by clicking this code, I can join this. Clicking the join, I can join. So they will ask how we can join this. So you always put your camera off and your microphone off. So this is the symbol of video camera and this is the symbol of audio. So you need to unmute. So you need to mute your mic and switch off your camera before joining a live class. So you click join and the organizer will permit you or admit you to the meeting. So until you have to wait. So you wait to join, and when the organizer admit you, you can join the Google Meet. So this is the home screen of Google Meet. So here you can see several options. You can see that in the top corner you can see this button. So this is the switching camera option. So this will switch your front facing camera, and this is the sound option. So by switching the camera to front facing camera, your camera will be switched to front facing mode. But here the camera is off, so we cannot use that option. Next thing is the 3 dots here. You can see the 3 dots. So in the below panel, first the red button represents the leave meeting button. So if you click this button, you will leave the meeting. So second and third buttons are familiar to you. This button is used to switch off your video and audio, and the 3 dots represents some options. So click that 3 dots. So it will show some options. First one is in-call messages. So you can click the in-call messages, and it will direct to your message panel. So here you can type any message, and this message will be seen by all the people in this call and are deleted when the call ends. So you can type any message like hi. So this message will be posted in the Google Meet, and all the people in this meeting can see this message. So in this way you can type any message in the chat box while attending a meeting. And next option is you can return to the 3 dots, and you can take share screen. So share screen is usually used by teachers. You can also use it. So if you click start sharing, you are going to share something in your phone to the people in the meeting. So you can share anything. You can share your a PPT or PDF or like that. You can share the file in your mobile using this share screen button. So you can see a arrow button upward in the left top corner of the meeting. So it indicates that you are sharing the screen. So in the Google Meet, you can any person can share. So be careful that don't touch that that option unless the teacher demands. Okay. So share screen is used to share the file with you. Okay. Next important thing is that you can use you can share any file with you, and last, if you have stop sharing, you can if you while sharing the screen, you cannot see the home page of the Google Meet. That is one difficulty. You can only see the screen which we are sharing. You cannot see the panel or a home page or the people who are attending the meeting. You cannot see. So after sharing, you can stop share and you can leave the meeting. So this is the Google Meet, and similarly GoToMeeting is familiar to you. So GoToMeeting is another application. So GoToMeeting has also the same similar manner. You can enter the meeting ID here and you can join the meeting, and while joining you have to keep your audio and video off and you join the live class. Okay. So these are the 2 video conferencing tools which we are frequently using in our online classes. Okay. Dear students, in this session we are going to see how we can do screen recording using our mobile phone and how to upload it in the YouTube channel. So for that you can use an easy screen recorder app called vRecorder. So this is the vRecorder application. So you can just download it from the Play Store, and this is the screen of home page of vRecorder. So this is the option menu, option tab. So here this is the window of this is the highlighting tools. That means we can annotate it using different colors, annotate a PDF file or PowerPoint using this tool while we teach. And this is the eraser tool, and similarly this is the recording option, and this is the shape option. We can mark, annotate in different shape. So let's go to one PowerPoint and we can use it. So for that I have taken one PowerPoint, and here I can make it as a slideshow presentation. And in this slideshow you can see in the right side, you can see this option. This is the option of screen recorder. So this screen recorder can record the PowerPoint I present. So this is the tool to draw some line. You can see a line here. You can annotate my PowerPoint, and you can erase it. Okay. So while teaching, this is very useful. So you can undo it and redo it. And if you like to start recording, click this button. So they will ask the video resolution. So this 720 pixel is normal. 180 pixel need premium version of this app. So it is not possible. So the maximum video resolution is 720 pixel, then 480 pixel, 360 pixel and 240 pixel. So I chose 720 pixel and I am start recording. So they will count down the recording, and now this is started the recording. So here the recording is started. We can pause it at any time. Now after some time, after explaining the PowerPoint, we can just stop this. To share the video we recorded in the screen recorder, go to the home page by selecting the three dots, and here is the video we already recorded using the vRecorder. So click the three button in the three dots on the right side and click share button, and we can use the we can upload this video to the YouTube. So for that, click YouTube. So this video will be uploaded in our YouTube channel. So if you have a Gmail account, you can use that Gmail account to upload the video in the YouTube. So you can choose any of the email ID, and I am using my email ID to upload this video. So this is my channel name, Fancy KF. This is my YouTube channel name, and we need to give a title. That is very important. So by giving a title, so this is a video of Hartley oscillator. So I am giving the name Hartley oscillator, and we can give the description. So since we have shared this film created by vRecorder, it is giving that link. So it is not needed. It is not needed to give the link of vRecorder. So we can give the details. It is the fifth semester BSc Physics Electronics course. So fifth semester BSc Physics Electronics course. So this is the description I am going to give. Now they will ask whether we want to upload it or share this as public, unlisted, private or scheduled. Public means anyone can search and view this video. Unlisted means who all have the link of this video can view, and private means only people you choose can view. Only people you share this video can view this video. Scheduled means you can schedule this video to a particular time so that it will change to public view mode at that scheduled time. So these are the four options. So I am going to choose the unlisted option. Now if we want to add tags, we can give, otherwise we can remove the tag. Now click the next option. So it will give the select audience. Is this video made for kids? No, I am not making this video for kids. So I am telling no, it is not made for kids. It is made for adults. So if we are giving the option it is made for kids, then it will restrict the video to viewers over up to 18 age only. So that is the age restriction in the YouTube channel. And after that, click upload. So this will get uploaded in our YouTube channel. So after uploading, we can see, so here you can see the preparing option, and it is also giving the option of uploading option. So these are the videos I previously uploaded in my channel. So after a few seconds, the video get uploaded in the YouTube channel, and we can share the link. So for sharing the link, you can see this. This is one of my video. So for that, click the video. So we can share this. You can copy the link. And you can share this to Google Classroom. So this is the method of uploading video in a YouTube channel. You can delete this video also. In the right button, you can delete the upload option. You can delete or remove the uploaded option. You can edit it. You can make it a playlist. Whatever thing we can do. Okay. So this is all about the video uploading using the screen recorded video. Dear students, your online education session എല്ലാവർക്കും യൂസ്ഫുൾ ആയിരിക്കുമെന്ന് പ്രതീക്ഷിക്കുന്നു. Please feel free to ask your doubts. Have a happy and fruitful academic year ahead. Thank you all.